afternoon, good evening, good morning, depending on where you are in the world. Welcome to Raising Excellence, the most important, well, in this case, it's a teaser, so it's only a few minutes of your day today. I'm Michael, and with me today are two of my favorite co-hosts, Agnieszka, our psychosomatic illuminator,
Hi, nice to be here.
and Dennis, our freedom facilitator. And what we're talking about, oh, sorry, Dennis.
Greetings and blessed love. The most
So
important
excited.
teaser of your day.
Yeah, so the title of today's show or Wednesday's show is Untame Yourself. And essentially, the visual that I think we want to get across to people is that humanity, society, mankind, whatever you want to call it, is the large trained elephant, and the powers that be are the animal tamer, trainer that is whipping the elephant to do something that it doesn't naturally do. And so this is actually kind of a culmination point of that animal training trick that's going to be going on here in the next few days, or at least that's what I think we can surmise from the intensity of the propaganda that's out there. But it's one of those points where is the elephant going to obey the trainer, or is the elephant going to do its own thing, say the hell with the circus, and head on back to nature and do what it does best, be an elephant. But what is your guys' thoughts on what we're going to talk about in regard to that?
How to be an elephant
Well,
in the
to
woods.
grasp your power and be who you are naturally.
Yeah, and to realize, hold on, like this rope that I'm only tied to like a tiny branch, and I'm a huge ass elephant. So let me just step away, and the branch will just give way, and I can do whatever I want. And what are the things that actually, because if it's not the rope that really keeps you in bondage and that keeps you tamed, what is it that tamed you? Who is it that tamed you, and what are the thought patterns, what are the behaviors, what are the perspectives, that keep you in a place that you don't really want to be, and that you don't really feel comfortable, that you're not even free. So what keeps you there, what keeps you stuck, what keeps you
You
from
know,
living a free and untamed life?
I had a great conversation with my mother last week, and it seems like that whatever she's exposed to, like she spends a week by herself at home listening to the radio, and then she just keeps repeating the things from the radio. And I'm like, well, no, 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 no. You're an engineer. You understand that this is could be understood this way, or this could be understood that way. And so I show her different interpretation of them, and then she thinks about it. And then last weekend she ended up spending some time with some other really intelligent people who had similar ideas to mine. And then suddenly she came back saying, I'm so proud of you. You knew what it was all along. You figured it out. And I believed to the radio. But then is the next week that she listens to the radio for the whole week straight, is she going to shift her point? And is her mind like, what's going on there? You know what I mean? Is exposure itself enough to shift our consciousness to something completely different, even though we know better?
Well, I think there's definitely some studies that like B.F. Skinner and others have done that demonstrate that conditioning does have a long-term effect on people's overall mentality, and in a lot of cases because the subconscious mind is one in which it doesn't understand the difference between reality and illusion when it comes to like watching TV versus actually experiencing things that they like they don't know the distinction. Our brain doesn't have the distinction between what's reality and what's imaginary. So in a lot of cases, we've sustained years and years and years of illusions, and to some degree, it's very comfortable to fall back into those illusions rather easily.
But we're not going to be doing that on Wednesday.
No.
We're going to be showing a way out of the illusion on Wednesday and shining a flashlight down the road towards understanding and unity.
And shine it,
Well,
shine it on different levels, right? Because we are tamed on so many different levels all at once. And if you look around, I sometimes get the feeling, especially lately, is like, what kind of crazy circus are we living in? And we obviously all are all part of it. So, but it's like
Yeah.
it's mind-boggling if I look, at the, the physical behaviors of people, but at the thought patterns as well. At Yeah, I don't know. Like it seems really like we are at a special point of history. I believe, and sometimes it becomes really, it's easy to lose hope, recognizing that seemingly most people are into that kind of trance, and that it's only very few who can actually look through things and who can see things, um, you know, not the way that is fed to us through mainstream media and through, just the politically correct official opinion that we ought to believe and ought to accept. And um, and realizing that is actually, quite a few people who really look through it, and that it's even less, people among that little group who actually have a plan and have developed, steps and strategies and tactics how to overcome that and how to, step out of it. That would be, something I really would like to explore. And there are many examples in history, throughout the times, where small groups, or where little people actually managed to overcome, terrible situations where they were totally overpowered. And the same mud circle situation that I'm just painting. So there have been cases in history where people overcame that. So what were those cases, and what did they do in order to overcome it? Like on a mental level, on a physical level, on an emotional level, how did they prepare themselves? On a spiritual level, how did they overcome that situation which seemed so, hopeless in a way? And then also, have there been situations even during our lifetimes, in our personal lives, where we felt totally overpowered? And what were strategies and tactics that we used to overcome that and to untame ourselves and to step into freedom?
One thing I did notice, sorry, Michael, did you have something to add to that?
No, go ahead.
So one thing I did notice is that the people who have thought things through on their own, if you say, why do you believe this? They'll right away tell you, oh, I believe this because A, B, and C, right? Versus the people who are taking in the programming or taking in the programming, I guess there's no other way to put it. They're the ones who go, well, of course that's what it is. Of course it is, and they never have anything to back it up. They don't say, oh, it is because da, 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 because of this and this and this. They always go, because that's everybody knows this, that's like a specific difference that I've noticed between thinking and follow, like the leaders and the followers, I suppose.
And I had a case of that today, and it's the same fallacy, right? Is that bad argument of saying, well, everybody does it, so it must be true. It must be right because
But
everybody
there's
does it.
no backing
Or
up.
the
There's no
majority.
like, oh, here, take a look at this study and the numbers will show you. So you can see how the percentages, 117 or whatever, people, which is 90% of the study. You can, and then you can actually look at the data and actually understand it. Whereas if somebody presents an argument, well, of course, that's what the radio says. Of course, everybody knows this. Then there is no arguing against this argument, or there's not even ability. We don't even have the ability to prove them otherwise because they don't even have anything to refute. They're just like blindly repeating things that were told to them for whatever reason.
Well, but that's simply because their fear response has misdirected their thinking so that they're not going to have any kind of critical thinking. So putting facts and figures or making any kind of logical argument is useless to somebody that's in a fear response. And that's essentially what they've created, the circumstance in which a large portion of the population, due to a lot of different circumstances, certainly some related to the medical issues that people are suffering from, because of poor diets and vaccines and contaminated immune systems and so forth, immune tolerance. You can check out that show of mine on Wednesday, or from Wednesday's Leo show. But people are downgraded, and to some degree, though, this is really a reflection of not just the population, but also the trainer. The trainer using violence is really an indicator that they have rejected the potential of any kind of creativity. So when you're using
Wow.
violence, you're utilizing, you're basically signaling you're desperate.
But
And to
creativity is antithesis to obedience.
Indeed, and that's kind of that's definitely one of those things that we need to be well aware of, because the things that are opposite to what is actually being promoted are really kind of I think the keys to the understanding the solution to the problem.
Yeah.
Because really, this is a dying system. This is a system that's collapsing on itself, and it is going to collapse on itself if it takes out half the population and collapsing on itself. That may be what occurs, but it's really up to us, uh, that the critical thinkers and the observant and the informed and the aware to acknowledge what's actually going on, and be able to create a circumstance in which people can make a choice whether they want to be obedient
Wow.
or do something better.
People always have that choice. We're just going to shine a flashlight on it.
Yeah.
Help them to realize that the choice is there. It's something that has been always there.
Okay, but that's going to be on Wednesday, right?
Mhm.
At
That's the show on
4:30
Wednesday.
p.m. Central. That's 5:30 p.m. Eastern, and 3:30 p.m. Mountain, and 2:30 p.m. Pacific.
And
I
11:30
got it all right.
p.m.
11:30 p.m.
Central
Berlin
CET, Central
time.
European time. No.
Oh yeah, I guess
This
it's
one.
more than just Berlin, isn't it?
Yeah, Amsterdam too. Whole heap of things going on in
Oh, in
Amsterdam these
Warsaw.
days. Looking forward to Wednesday. That's gonna be exciting.
Yes, sounds
How
great.
to untame yourself.
Well, it's
Raising
going to be
excellence.
right in the heart of the revolution going on outside in the real world, right?
The
The
revolution is
circus, the
it's been
circus
going on
world.
for
The mud
decades,
circus.
hundreds of years. We're still continuing. It will never die as long as we're alive. Oh, that's the Polish anthem. I got mixed up. Anyway, go on.
Yes.
Well, that's all I got. That's it. So let's just leave it there. Look
Yes.
forward to
Looking
seeing you
forward
on
to Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Bye bye
Yeah.
everybody.
See you,
Thank you.
everyone.